So good evening one and all. In the previous class we have completed about all the adders. Now we'll move to the our new part of the topic, which is actually subtractor circuit. So which is actually full subtractor. We have already studied up to the half subtractor. So now we'll study about the full subtractor. Okay. So full subtractor is nothing else. It's actually going to subtract three binary bits. Okay. It's a combination logic circuit. It is going to subtract three binary bits. Okay. So as we know that what you have to do for any combination circuit to design, you should identify how many number of inputs and output bits required. Okay. So this is my full subtractor, which requires actually three binary bits A, B, and C. You can give any name, capital A, B, C, small a, B, C, anything you can give. So we have already taken every time like capital A. I'll just put it up capital A, B, C. Okay, and this will be my difference, and this is my borrow output, borrow. Okay, so what we have done for the combinations of the circuit to design, we have to construct the truth table. In order to construct the truth table, what we should know? We should know about the relationship between input and output. We should know the logic functionality actually. So here how many inputs are there? Three inputs A, B, C, which will be having output, difference, and borrow. Okay, which will be having output, difference, and borrow. So what we have know here, so it's a three inputs. So obviously 2 to the 3, 8 number of combinations we can expect. 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1. So these are actually 8 combinations we can expect actually. Then what you need to do? Then after that reply like difference we can get. So how to find out the difference actually? A minus B, 0 minus 0. Okay, after that whatever the result will come, difference result, you have to subtract this bit. Then 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 0, borrow is 0. So next 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 1, difference is 1, borrow is also 1. While you are performing difference of this 0 minus 1, you will get difference 1. 0 minus 1, already you have got a borrow here. Next 1, 0 minus 1 is 1, difference 1 minus 0 is 1. Okay, 0 minus 1, 1, already there is a borrow. Then 1 minus 1, 0. Okay, 1 minus 0 is 1, 1 minus 0, 1. So this is 0, 1 minus 0, 1, 1 minus 1, 0, 0, 1 minus 1, 0, 0 minus 0, 0, 0, 1 minus 1, 0, 0 minus 1, you got a borrow, and difference is also 1. So this is my truth table of the full subtractor. Very simple. So what you need to do here, you just need to perform the subtraction between these two. Whatever result came with, you have to subtract with this C. Okay, this is the way we can do that thing. And now what is logic expression? Before going for the logic expression, so what you need to do here, you have to find out the logical expression of it. So you can able to see here, my function for the difference is nothing else, which is summation of M. See here, this is 1, 2,
Sir,
4.
6 bit is
What?
6 bit borrow 1, sir.
So see here, what is for the sixth bit? It's 1 1 0. Okay, 1 minus 1, how much? 0. 0 minus 1, 0.
Fifth, sir. Fifth, sir.
1 minus 0,
Fifth,
how
sir.
much? Huh? 1
1.
minus 0, how much? 1. 1 minus 1, 0.
Difference 1.
Okay, 1 minus 1, how much? If I do 1 minus 0, how much? 1. Then again I have to
1.
do 3. So 1 minus 1, 0. So difference is 0.
Okay,
Borrow.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All of you understand this? Very simple, nothing else. Okay, so
Okay, sir. Understood.
by looking into this, what we can say, the difference is nothing else. My difference is summation of M. The bits are 1, 2, 4, and 7. For so if you do solve of it, how will get it? Just look like a XOR gate. How is it? You can see here, if number of bits are odd. So if number of bits are the number of bits. Okay, so the number of bits in the number of ones in the input are odd. So here it's odd, so I'm getting output 1. If number of ones at the input is even odd, I'm getting 1. Here also odd, output is 1. Here also odd, output is 1. So you can say this difference is nothing else, my A XOR B XOR C. Okay, it's very simple. Next, what is that? Borrow. Borrow, what we got? Borrow is nothing else. The borrow expression is nothing else. My you can see those things. What are those? This one, A bar, B bar, C. Next, A bar, B, C bar. Next, A bar, B, C. Last, A, B, C. Okay, if you solve this up, what you can get, students. So this is what I am doing here. I've just taken a common here a bar. So distributive law I have just applied. So I have got here b bar c and bc bar. Okay, between these two. Okay, and here I'll take again the distributive law bc. So I can get a bar or a, here just I have applied the distributive law over here. Okay, so what I get here, a bar b bar c or bc bar is what? This is b xor c. I can write down like this, and this is bc and 1. Okay, so I can get what finally bc or a bar b xor c. So this is one of the equation for the my borrow. Okay, this is one of the equation for my borrow. Now what I can do, instead of doing that, what I have done here, by take, this is one of the equation. Okay, one of the equation I got. Again I took the same borrow equation, whatever I got here. What are those? A bar b bar c, a bar b c bar, a bar b c or a b c. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am just going to add two more a bar b c. Why we are going to add two more a bar b c? So I can apply the distributive law among all the things. So if I, what I am just going to do, I am going to add 2 times a bar b c, 2 times a bar b c. Why? Because as we know that x plus x plus x is x. Okay, so this is actually idempotence theorem. According to idempotence theorem, I can add any number, I can or any number of like min terms to it, so that it will not change my value. Okay, so see here what I'm going to do here. Now I'm just going to put all the things with the distributive law. A bar bc 1 here, next a bar bc bar, a bar bc 1 here, another one is abc or a bar bc. Okay, if I going to apply the distributive law over here, what I will get? This is a bar c, b bar or b. Next, this will be a bar b, which is c bar or c. Last, this is ac, b or b bar. Okay, so what I will got here, this is not ac, this is bc, bc, a or a bar. Okay, so if I do this, what I will get? Finally, I will get a bar c, a bar b or bc. Okay, so this is also another equation, another logical expression of borrow. Okay, so what are the two equations we got? A bar c, a bar b or bc, or I got also bc or a bar b xor c. Okay, these are the two logical expressions for my borrow. Okay, any doubts, students? Up to this, very simple. I have just solved the things with applying different distributive laws and idempotence theorem and all. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to implement it. Okay, fourth bit is implementation. Okay, so implementation of the same I'm going to do here. So what I'm going to do here, you can see I'm going to implement my a xor b xor c as my difference. Okay, and I'm going to implement this one, this borrow actually. So see here what I'm going to do, very simple here. This is my a. So as we know that I require a bar for my borrow, so I have taken a bar, and I just not require my b bar, so I'll put as it is. C bar also I don't need, so I'll put as it is like this. Okay, now what is my equation? My equation is I'm going to have a xor b first, then whatever result comes, that I will be get xor with another one, which will give me finally a xor b xor c. So this is my difference. Okay, students, what I have done, very simple. I have just taken like this, and I have performed a xor b xor c. Next, what is my borrow? My borrow is a bar c. So where is a bar? So this is my a bar, and this is my c, a bar c. Next, a bar b. So this is my a bar, this is my b, a bar b. Next, BC. So where is BC? So this is my B and this is my C, BC. All of three will go, and finally it will perform with the OR operation. Okay. So this will give me finally my borrow. All of you understand, students? So this is nothing else, BC. This is my A bar B, A bar C. So which gives me borrow, this gives me difference. So this is actually implementation of my full subtractor. Okay. So now we can see how we can design a full subtractor using half subtractor. That also will be the very important question, student. So see here what we can do. So I'm just doing it. What is my full subtractor? The sorry, half subtractor. Half subtractor, what are this? The difference is nothing else, my a xor b. We have already done this, and borrow is what? Borrow is for the half subtractor A bar B. Okay, borrow is A bar B. So see here what I am doing, it's very simple. So I have just taken a one half subtractor here. How is it? I have just taken a XOR B. So a B, which is actually my A XOR B, and I have just taken this B and A bar. So I have taken a bar over here, and this is my A bar B, which gives me my borrow. Okay, then what I have done, I know that my difference is nothing else A XOR B XOR C. So I have been taken another input here, and I have told that this is my A XOR B XOR C, which is nothing else my difference. Okay, so this is my C. Do you all understand, students? Very simple. I am just drawing. Next, what I am going to do, another half subtractor. How I can design? This is another input I have taken, and this one, and what I have done here, another input is, let's say, this one, and this one, what I have to do, you see here another input, what I have taken the inverted input. So I just has to take this, and I have to perform the inversion, and I am going to apply here, and which will go to my AND gate. So similar thing I have been done. So this is one of the half subtractor, this is also another half subtractor I can claim. Then finally what I am going to do, whatever the result I have got here, that I am going to take, and finally I perform the OR operation. I am going to claim that this is my borrow. So now tell me, what is my borrow according to this logic diagram? What is my borrow? If that logic diagram, according to that I can suitably done this, then I can say that whatever I am claiming here for the borrow works fine. Okay, so see here what I am doing over here. Very simple. So my here, what is the equation over here? The equation is, this is my what? A XOR B bar. So I can say that this is my A XOR B bar, which is nothing else A XOR B, which is AND operation with C. So this is my C. Am I correct? This line is coming with the C. So this finally here, what I can expect? C and A XOR B. Okay, understand? And this is what actually A bar B. So finally, what is my borrow? My borrow would be A bar B or C and A XOR B. Okay, so this is my thing. But what is my borrow has been come? I have got two equations for borrow. So this one, obviously this has not been arrived now, and also this also has not been arrived. Am I correct? So this also has not been correct. Okay, so I am going to prove here, this is also an alternate solution of the borrow, alternate logical expression of the borrow. How? Just see here how I am proving now. This is my borrow. Okay, so I don't have any issue with my difference. Obviously this is my AX or BX or C. Anybody can tell that, okay, this is my AX or BX or C, which is my difference. But my borrow has, what new equation has been come up? A bar B or C and A XOR B. Okay, so we are going to see that how I am going to prove here. This one is borrow. Just check now. So what is my borrow equation, student? Borrow equation is now, my borrow equation is A bar B bar C, A bar B C bar, A bar B C or ABC. How? I have just applied here. This is my equation. Very simple. A bar B bar C, A bar B C bar, A bar B C, ABC. That only I have written here, nothing else. From the truth table, I have just expressed in this way. Next, what I am doing over here, just see these two bits. So I'm just taking the rearranging these two bits. So what I have done here, A bar B C bar or A bar B C. I just bought these two first. Okay, just rearrange it, nothing else. Next, A bar B bar C, A B C. I have taken like this as it is. So I've just done the rearrangement of my equation. Next, what I'll do, if I can apply the distributive law here, which is C bar or C, and this one, what I have to do, I can take C again distributive law, which is A bar B bar or AB. So see here, this is my what? A bar B and 1. This is my what? C and A XOR B. Understand, students? So this is finally what I have got? A bar B C A XOR B. This is another equation of my borrow. Okay, just see here, whatever I was claiming here, the same equation I have obtained over there from the borrow equation only. So I can say that finally whatever I have designed here is my full subtractor. Am I correct, students? So see here, what is this I am doing? It is having two half subtractor. This is one half subtractor. Okay, this is one half subtractor, and this is another half subtractor from here to here. This is an no, this one also with including this. Okay, this is another half subtractor too. Finally, this is with another OR gate. Okay, so how we can design a full subtractor? We can design one full subtractor with the help of two half subtractor plus one OR gate. Okay, any doubt, students? We have already proved it and we have designed it already. Okay, so this is very important, students. Full subtractor will be implemented with the help of two half subtractors and one OR gate. Okay, so this much only for the full subtractor. I'll just conclude it with the help of arithmetic circuits. The finally some important questions actually about the full subtractor. After that we can conclude the adder arithmetics like adder circuits or subtractor circuits. So first one is number of NAND gate required to design. Number of NAND gate required to design for full subtractor also 9. You can do that yourself, student. Number of NOR gate required is also 9 to design a full subtractor. So these are all full subtractor. Okay. Third point is, what is logical expression? The logical expressions for difference is A XOR B XOR C. And for borrow, we got three different equations, students. What are those? One is A bar B, A bar C, or BC. Or also we got like now A bar B or C A X NOR B. Also we got another equation like BC, or we got also BC or A bar or B XOR C. So these are the three different equations we have got for the borrow. 1, 2, and 3. Three different equations. I have proved already all these equations, so don't worry. These all three are the equations for my borrow. Okay. So, and the number of mocks and decoder, we'll see that thing later on. So anyhow, number of mocks, I'm not discussing much about it. So number of mocks, I'll see it actually while I'm teaching the mocks. Next, number of decoder, obviously we need like one decoder, which is actually 3x8 decoder. This also I'll tell you, don't worry. 3x8 decoder and 2 OR gates I require. 2 OR gates. So I'll discuss these 2 points later on. So this much only for my like the adder subtractor circuits. Then we'll move to the next part of my syllabus, which is actually the comparator circuit. What is the comparator circuit, students? Which actually compares, okay, which actually compares the numbers, two numbers. So what is this comparator? Next part is comparator circuit. Comparator is also a combinational logic circuit. Comparator is also a combinational logic circuit which compares two binary bits, okay, and finally it produces the output. Either A is greater than B, okay, either A is equal to B or A is less than B. Am I correct, students? These are the three outputs we can expect, which is X, Y, and Z. Three outputs. So first, what you have to do for any combinational logic circuit to design, you need to identify how many number of input and output required. So these are the input. The number of inputs required for the comparator is 2 inputs and 3 outputs, X, Y, and Z. Understand? Or any doubt, students, please let me know. So very simple. So next, what I am going to do, after that I am going to develop my truth table. Okay, the truth table will be nothing else, the relationship between my inputs and outputs. So these are my A, B. Okay, so truth table tells me that like X, Y, and Z. So X is what? A greater than B, Y is A equal to B, Z is A less than B. Understand, students? Very simple. So these are the three outputs we can expect. Okay, so obviously see here what you can do. So this is my AB 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. These are the 4 inputs we can expect. Okay, so see here, if A greater than B, for this case, is A is greater than B? Obviously no. So that's why my output is 0 for A greater than B. Is A is greater than B for 0 and 1? No. So output is 0. If A is greater than B now, yes, that's why output is 1. Now is A is greater than B? No. So 0. So understand, students, So next, what is y? Y is nothing else, a equal to b. Yes, my output is 1. 0 and 1 not equal, so output is 0. Not equal, output is 0. Now it's equal, 1 1 equal, so output is 1. Here, is a less than b? Obviously no. Is a less than b? Yes, output is 1. Is a less than b? No, output is 0. Is a less than b? No, output is 0. So very simple. If you know the what you have to actually design, you can able to design with find out the truth table accordingly. Okay, if you once find out the truth table, it's very easy for us to implement any type of digital circuit. Okay, now what you need to do, the third point is actually the logical expression. So what will be my logical expression, students? The logical expression should be like x, which is nothing else my a b bar. So see here, this is a b bar, a b bar. What is y? Y is look like it's like a XNOR gate, students. Obviously yes, XNOR gate. What is XNOR gate? It's a equivalent gate. When a equal to b, output is 1. Okay, so this is my obviously XNOR gate. Next z is what? Z is a bar b. Okay, z is a bar b. Okay, so this is my logic expressions. Now I can easily implement those logic expressions, very simple way. What you can do, just you need to have different logic gates to implement this. So see here, this is my a, and this is my like b. Okay, so see here, if it is x, x is what? A, and b bar. B bar is nothing else, very simple. I just perform like this. So this is my x, which is actually gives me a greater than b. Okay, next to y, y is a XNOR b. So this is a, this is b, a XNOR b. So this is XNOR. Okay, so this is XNOR. Okay, so this is XNOR, students, don't get confused. So this is a XNOR b. So this is actually like this, a XNOR b. So which is y, which is actually a equal to b, for the a equal to b. And for the a greater than b, what you have to do, which is for the a less than b, a less than b, what you have to do, which is a bar b. So this is a, I have just taken a bar, and b. So this is my b, finally AND operation. Okay, so this will give me z, which is actually a less than b. So these are the 2 inputs, these are the 3 outputs of a comparator. Okay, so now check here. So this is actually what? This is actually for 2 bits. Okay, for 3 bits, 4 bits and all, we should have one generalized equation, students. So you should know actually how is it actually. So I will just give one of the important thing for the equality condition. For equality condition, what actually we know that for equality condition, if a equal to b, which gate actually was put? A XNOR b actually was put. For equality condition, my a XNOR b actually hold. Condition holds. Am I correct, students? So see here, if I'm taking 4 bits, like a is a3, a2, a1, a0, 4 bits. So for the 4 bits, how many combinations of input you can expect? 2 to the power 16, 2 to the power 16 number of combinations. So it's very difficult to draw those truth tables for the 16 number of combinations. So for that reason, what you need to do, you should have certain particular generalized equation. So let's say if a is this, and my b is b3, b2, b1, b0, then what would be my generalized equation for the equality? So if a equal to b, when, okay, a equal to b, when it equal means e, okay, when a equal to b, when my a3 is XNOR b3 and a2 XNOR b2 and a1 XNOR b1 and a0 XNOR b0. If all these conditions will hold good, then finally if I get 1, then I can say that my a b are equal. So you can take 2 equations. So if you see, this is 1 1 0 1, this is my 1 0 1 1. So I can say that how to get this. So a3 is what? This is my a3, a2, a1, a0. This is my b3, b2, b1, b0. So obviously you see here a3 XNOR b3, 1 XNOR 1, okay, and a2 XNOR 1 XNOR 0, and a1 XNOR b1, which is 0 XNOR 1, 1 XNOR 1 XNOR 1. So what will get? 1 XNOR 1 is here 1, this is 0, this is 0, this is 1. Okay, so obviously I got 0. Why I got 0? Because my 2 numbers are not equal over here. So this is the generalized equation. What is generalized equation? For n number of bit also you can able to find out if it is A is of n number of bits, B equal to n number of bits. How to find out? The equal is nothing else. Your an XOR bn and an minus 1 XOR bn minus 1, like this. Finally a0 XOR b0. Okay, so this is my, if this condition holds fine, then we can say that both a b are equal. Okay, now your job is what you have to do. Like this, the generalized formula you have to find out. For what? For generalized formula for n bit, you guys has to find out for a greater than b, what is that generalized formula? A less than b, what is that generalized formula? Okay, students. So I'll if it is you cannot able to do, I'll do it in next class, don't worry. Okay, so this is the thing for actually from the comparator circuit. So you have need to find out this generalized formula. Like this way I have done for the a equal to b. Similarly, you can find out a XOR b, a less than b, then you can design the things. So if it is 4 bit, how to design this equality circuit? Very simple. The circuit will be nothing else, my a0 b0 XNOR. Okay, similarly a1 b1 XNOR, similarly my a2 b2 XNOR, similarly finally my a3 b3 XNOR. This is the way you can do. Similarly, what is your job, students? You need to check out what is the generalized formula. Finally, it will be n. Okay. This will give me equality. Okay. So your job is you need to find out the generalized formula for the a greater than b, a less than b. If the number of bits increase, so the combinations get increased. Okay, so what will happen if a is a 5 bit, b is a 5 bit? So how much will be big will be the truth table? Are you understanding? You have to compare with 30 to 32 combinations at a time. So that's why very difficult for it. So if you know this generalized formula, then easily you can able to implement it. Okay, do you all understand? So that is your task you have to do. If you're not there, I will do it in the next class, students. So next part we'll move to the very important part of the digital circuit, which is actually KMF. So we'll just start about the KMF. What is KMF? I have just discussed this in my BTech classes actually. So this is one of the very important for the BTech classes, BTech students actually. So and also the digital circuit gate course also. So KMF is nothing else. It's just a graphical representation of minterms and maxterms. It's just a graphical representation of minterms and maxterms. Okay. So it is used when output is 0, 1 and don't care. It is also used for the output 0, 1 and don't care. Okay, this is my don't care. I will discuss much about the don't care later on, don't worry. So mainly KMap is nothing else. KMap is the graphical representation of presence of minterms or maxterms. Okay, minterms or maxterms. Okay, so next in KMF, mainly what will happen? The minterms are represented as, in KMF the minterms are represented as 1 and maxterms are represented as 0. Okay, so mainly what KMF will do, mainly in KMF also the minterms and maxterms are in the form of or maxterms are in the form of canonical, form. What is canonical form? You know all this. What is the canonical form? The canonical form is nothing else. The SOP, all the terms of the SOP or POS must consist of all the variables, either in the form of true form or in the form of complement form. Okay. So next point is in KMF. So I'm just directly writing here, in KMF gray code representation is used. Okay, gray code representation is used. Now the question is, what is gray code representation? Okay, so see here, what is gray code? Let's say I'm taking two variable here, xy. So xy is, let's say 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. I can get this many also only combination. So what is the gray code? This is the binary representation. What is gray code of it? Gray code of it is nothing else. 0 0 means 0, 0. Okay, what you have to do? 0. You have to keep MSB as it is, and you have to perform the XOR operation between these two. 0, 0. Next to 0, 1, and this one is 1, 1, and this is 1, 0. So this is the gray code representation. In KMap, you have to represent your representation in gray code. I'll tell you. Okay, in the graphic graph, you have to represent this gray code representation. Okay. So now there are various ways to represent the KMap. So actually there are various ways like two variable KMap. Okay. What is two variable KMap? Two variable KMap is nothing else. If the function is of two variables, let's say A, B, two variables. So you have to construct a two variable KMap. Okay. So two variable KMap, how much? So that is actually 2 square, 4 number of cells are possible in the two variable KMap to represent those minterms and maxterm. For the SOPs, and that is 1, for POS that is 0. Okay, so there are 4 cells. You have to represent the minterms or maxterms in those particular cells of the KMap. Okay, so for the two variable, how many cells? It is actually 4 cells. Okay, so what are the 4 cells? So this is actually the representation A, B. Okay, so what is this gray code? I told it is actually represented in gray code. What is this gray code? This is 0, 0, 0, 1, next 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, so see here, this is my B bar, B, A bar, A. Okay, so what is my gray code? Actually 0, 0, next 0, 1, next 1, 1, next 1, 0, and again. So see here, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. So why I have done like this? If I will do like this, you can see here, obviously there are how much bit change actually in this two? There is only one bit change. Which one? This one only. Similarly, between these two also only one change. What is that? These two. For this and these two also there is only one change. Between these two also only one change. So because of this gray code representation, I have got one bit change only between the edges and minterms. Okay, between the edges and minterms there is only one bit change actually we have observed due to the gray code representation of the KMap. Okay, so next we will move to the 3 variable KMap. So you all understand, students, what is this actually? This is nothing else. The place values of the true variable KMap is nothing else. Let's say this is A, B. Always remember this A is MSB, this B is LSB. So what is MSB, LSB? Let's say a truth table is given to you. Truth table is A, B, C is given to you. So this is my MSB, this is my LSB. So do you all understand? So you have to keep always the MSB here, always the LSB over there. Okay, so what are the possible combinations of B here? Either B bar or B, or for the A, what are the possible combination? Either A bar or A. Understand? It's very simple, nothing else. Okay, next what you need to do? You need to have put those minterm positions. What are the minterm positions? This is the minterm position 0, 0, which is actually position M0. So this is my minterm position M0. This is my minterm position M1. This is my minterm position M3. This is my minterm position M2. So you all understand, this is the way you can represent your KMap. Okay, now what you need to do? You need to put those minterms wherever you will get 1. You just has to put the minterm positions as a 1. Understand? Any doubt? So see here, we'll do much problems on it, don't worry. So how we'll do some of the problems over here. So what is that? How you have to minimize. Okay, so what you have to do? You have to minimize. So see here what way I'm doing. So very important thing, students. I'll tell what are the important questions also later on. So summation of M 0, 2, 3. As I told you, in KMF, the function is given in the canonical form. If it is not given, you have to convert to the canonical form. Why? Because in KMF, the function is represented as canonical form. Okay, I have already discussed this. In KMF, minterms or maxterms are in the form of canonical. Okay, for the first step, you need to check whether the given question. So obviously, this is what type of question? It's a summation, means it's a SOP. Okay, SOP. Okay, because it's summation. These are all what actually minterms, because it's a summation. Because of summation, these are all 0, 2, 3 are all min terms. So first we need to check whether it is in canonical form or not. So obviously this is canonical because summation of m given means it's a canonical form. Okay, if it is not given in canonical form, let's say it is given like this, x bar or xy bar or x bar y or x like this given, what you need to do, first you have to convert this some SOP, this normal SOP, you have to convert it to canonical form. What to do for the canonical form? I have discussed many times with you. What is canonical form? All the terms here, how many terms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. All the terms must consist of all the variables, either in the form of true form or complement form. If it is not given in canonical, you need to first convert into the canonical by applying such rules I have told actually in my earlier classes. Okay, since it's already in canonical form, I'm not going to do anything about it. The next step, what you need to do, you need to check how many variable KMF it is. So it's a 2 variable, we need 2 square 4 cells. So it's obviously it's a 2 variable KMF to construct. Okay, so these are the informations we got, canonical form and 2 variable KMF we have observed from the question itself. After that, what you have to do, you have to construct a true variable KMF. What is 2 variable KMF? It's very simple. You just need to take 2 variables. So here the equation is given a b are the variables, so you have to take a and b here. So b bar b are the possible values of a possible values of a is a bar or a, and as we know that the place values of the cells are 0, 1, 3, 2 according to the gray coding. Okay, so 0, 1, 3, 2. Next, what you need to do, next step, you need to put those min terms in the function, whatever the min terms are present, put as 1. As I told that in KMF is what? In KMF is a graphical representation of min terms and max terms, and min terms are expressed as 1, max terms are expressed as 0. So here it is actually min term, so it will be expressed in 1. Okay, so what are the min terms present? 0, 2, 3. So I can put it over there, 0, 2 and 3. Other place it is nothing else is there, means it's a 0, you should put or you should not put, your wish, that is. Okay, so now you start combining. Why I am combining? Actually, if I combine, I can able to apply 3 different things of the Boolean algebra at a time. What is those? Distributive law, then existence of complement, okay, existence of complement, finally existence of identity element. If I am going to combine these, if I am going to combine the min terms, I am going to use with one combination, I am going to use these 3 postulates at a time of the Boolean algebra. Okay, so what is this actually I am doing? Let's say my you can see over here, I am just doing a bar, b bar and a b bar. If I am combining this, what I am going to do? So b bar, I am first applying the distributive law. So see here, I have applied the distributive law as I have written here. Okay, this distributive law. Then I have applied existence of complement. A bar or a is nothing else, 1. I have applied existence of complement. Then I have applied existence of identity element, which is postulate number 3, which gives me b bar. So by combining these 2 min terms, where those min terms are present? At 0 plus and 2 plus. This is 0, 0. This is my 1, 0. So obviously 0 and 2, these 2 places, if I am combining like this, then I can apply actually 3 laws, 3 theorems at a time. So how reduced my way of thinking, way of approach? Do you all understand, students, how beautiful is KMF? At one combination itself, I can apply many laws over there. So which actually reduced my way of thinking, my way of strategy, everything get reduced over there. So obviously now the question is how to combine. The combine must be, I have told you have to combine the min terms. Okay, you have to combine the min terms, maximum number of min terms, combine maximum number of min terms to get minimum number of literals. Okay, but you have to combine the adjacent min terms. These are all rules, students, adjacent min terms. Okay, because if you combine adjacent min terms, then these 3 laws can be come up at a time. Okay, next, the combination of ones should be either 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 number of ones you can combine. You should not combine 3 ones, 5 ones, 9 ones like this. You have to combine 1, 2, 4, 8 and 16 number of ones at a time. Any doubt, students, up to this? Please let me know immediately. Otherwise, we'll proceed further. Any doubt on this? Immediately let me know, students. So if there is no doubt, we'll proceed further. So see here, next step is what? So another rule is what? You can combine the min terms more than once. So this is already combined. This min term is already combined. I can again combine this if it gives me minimum number of literal. Okay. So how many groups has been formed here? Two groups has been formed, which each are having two actually ones I have a combined, and all the ones. Another rule is all the ones of the K-map must be combined at least once. Okay, so these are all these rules actually you are going to apply to combine the min terms to minimize the given function. Okay, so how much you will get here from this group one? What is the common? The common is actually b bar. So I have just find out this is my b bar. What is common over here? A. So I have got finally my reduced version or minimized version of equation a or b bar. Okay, you can also find realize it actually. This is a. This is my b bar. You can able to realize it by just taking it a or b bar. So this is my f of ab, which is a minimized digital circuit. So how I have minimized? So very simple way, I have just construct the K-map. After that, I have just combined by using different laws, different rules of the K-map combination. Then I have just realized the given minimized SOP by using basic gates. Okay. So next question. So the next question, let's say f of a comma b, which is summation of m 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay. So what you need to do here, obviously I have to know that this is in canonical form and it's a SOP canonical SOP. I just have to find out from this. Next, this is a two variable, obviously 4 number of cells are possible, and this is a two variable K-map. Obviously this is a two variable K-map which I am going to construct actually. So this is obviously like this. So two variable K-map. Okay, so having 4 cells, this is my a and this is my b, because here already given a b is nothing else given. You can give any name of your variable, don't worry. So this is my b bar and this is my b, this is my a bar and this is my a. So what is the place values of min term? This 0 1 3 and 2 according to the gray code sequence. Then finally what we have got here, this is the m0 means m0 not present, so I will not put over here 1. Next, 1 is present, 2 is present, 3 is present in the function. So I have just put over there. Next, you start combining. I have told you the laws how to combine actually. You can combine this way. So two combinations possible. What is the common here? The common between these two min terms is b. I have written b. And here what is common between these two min terms? Its common is a. So finally I have got f of a comma b is nothing else ab. Okay. Sorry, a or b, because it's SOP. Okay, SOP means these are all min terms. With that we have to finally sum it. Okay, a or b. So you can able to simply realize it by using a single OR gate. So which is f of a b. So this is my digital circuit I have designed. Okay, very simple, students. So next question will be like f of a comma b, which is summation of m 0 1 2 and 3. So as we know that what is this actually? Here all the variables, all the min terms are present. So what you need to do, if all the min terms are present, what I have told, this is my b bar, b, a bar, a, 0 1 3 2, all the min terms are present. All the min terms are present means what you need to do, you have to group these all 4 min terms, and finally what is common? One only is common between all the 4 min terms. What you have achieved here in K-map, if all are 1 means the function is the final, the minimized function is 1. Okay, so this is the final, f of ab is 1. So how many gates required? No gate is required to design. No gate is required to design. So simply just a 1 which is running up like this from the output to the input to the output. Okay, do you all understand? Very simple, nothing else. Okay, next we will move another question over here. F of a comma b, which is given summation of m 1 comma 3 or summation of d 2. Now one more extra term has been come up. Okay, what is that? Summation of d. What is the d, students? D is nothing else, don't care. Okay, that don't care. This d terms for don't care condition. Don't care condition. Okay, don't care is expressed as a cross. Okay, capital X. Don't care is expressed in the form of capital X. So what is don't care? Don't care means they have not been going to care about the output for this minterm 2. Okay, either it is 0 or it is 1, they have not going to care about it. So in order to construct it, what you are going to do, just simply you just has to put it like this. Is again a two variable KMF. I have just taken a b, this is my b bar b, this is my a bar a. So these are place values 0 1 3 and 2. I'll just put 1 and 3 1. So this is 1 3 1 and 2, minterm 2 is present, but it's a don't care condition. Don't care means you have to put don't care like this. Okay, so what you need to do, either that value is 0 or 1. If you require, you use that up, and if you don't require also, don't use it up. Okay, it's actually don't care condition. Okay, do you all understand, students? So how to actually combine now? Just you have to combine it like this. Okay, no need to combine it, because I have told you, if it is minimizing number of literals, then you combine with the don't care, else leave as it is. So finally, what is my output? My output will be b. So f of a b is b. So if I am considering and combining, tell me what is my output? It will be again a one extra gate is required, but here I am not requiring any gate. No gate is required to design it. All of you understand, student? When you are going to combine this don't care, whenever you are going to reduce, you can able to reduce the number of literals after combination, then only use it up, else leave as it is the don't care. Okay, so see here, next question, so that you can understand better way about the don't care. So let's say my question is like this: summation of m, which is 1 2 and 3, or d 0. Okay, what you need to do here, it is given. So it's again a two variable. I can design it up like this. I can construct my KMF like this, which is a b. So this is my b bar b, this is my a bar a. The place values are 0 1 3 2. So I can put 1 2 3 here, 1 2 and 3. Okay, and this is summation of d is 0. So this is my don't care. So what I'm going to do, if I am going to, if I am not going to consider don't care, I'm just combining this way. I can combine. So what I will get, this is b, and I'll get here a. I got how much here? F of a b, a or b I have got. So now see here, if I am using the don't care as 1, what I can get here? Just see here, this is my a b, this is my b bar b, a bar a. So if I am using this don't care 1 1 1, so if I'm using this don't care, I know that it may be 0 or it may be 1. Depending upon the requirement, we have to use it. Let's say now I have considered this as a 1. So I can combine it like this. So how much I will get here? 1. So f of a comma b, I have got 1. So how many gates here required? I require 2 literals here and 1 gate is required. But here I don't require any gate to design. Not required. No gate is required. No gate required. Understand? So the don't care, you understand how to do. Whenever the don't care you are going to use, the minimization should reduce the number of literals, then only use it, else haphazardly don't use it. So see here, another question I'll do, then you can have more idea about it, how to use the don't care. So let's say my question is f of a comma b, which is summation of m 0 comma 3, or summation of d is 2. Okay, so see here, this is again a two variable KMF. So I have taken this a b, this is my b bar, this is my b, a bar and a. So 0 1 3 2, understand? So 0 3 are 1 and 2 is don't care. Okay, so what I'm going to do, if I'm going to use this don't care or not here, obviously I'm going to use. How? If I'm not going to use, how is my equation looks like? This is my equation a b, and this is my equation a bar b bar. Okay, so what I will get here, f of a comma b, I have got here a bar b bar or a b. Okay, so now what I will get over here, how many literals? 4 literals I have achieved. With how many gates? I require 2 NOT gates, 2 AND gates and 1 OR gate. So total 5 number of gates I require to design this circuit. Okay, if I'm not considering dot cat, if I'm considering dot cat as a 0, I have got these many number of things: 4 literals, okay, and 2 NOT gates, 2 AND gates, 1 OR gates. So totally 5 number of gates I require. So see here what is happening now. If I'm going to consider the don't care now to my combination, so what I have achieved, so this is my a b, and this is my B bar B, this is my A bar A. So this is 0, 1, 3, 2. So this is 1, 1. This is don't care. So if I'm going to use this don't care as a 1, so this is one combination I have got as A. This is another combination I got. This is B bar. So I have reduced my number of literals to how much, student? A or B bar. So only 2 literals. So here 4 literals, here 2 literals. And how many gates I require? I just require 2 gates. What are those? One OR gate and one NOT gate. Do you all understand the difference where you are going to use don't care, where you are not going to use don't care? So whenever if the number of literals are going to reduce, if I use the don't care, use the don't care effectively that time. Okay. So I'll just do one more example. So f of a b, which is summation of m 0, 3 or summation of d 2, 1. So what you have to do at that time? So this is my again 2 variable came up b bar b, and this is my a bar a. So and place values are 0, 1, 3, 2. So 0, 3 is present. So I'll put max min terms here 0 and 3. Other places it's don't care. Okay, don't care. So what I'm going to do, if I'm not going to use don't care, else if I am use only one don't care, what will happen? If I am not used, what is my output, students? If I am not used, what is my output? F of a comma b is nothing else. This is my a b, this is my a bar b bar. So I have got f of a b, a bar b bar or a b. Let's say I have used now, let's say I have used now only one don't care. Let's say this don't care I am using. Okay, let's say I'm using this don't care now. Okay, so see here, if I'm using this don't care over here, how is it now? So this is my one don't care one. I'm using this don't care now. So what it would be? B bar b, a bar a. So I can use it like this. So now what I will get here? This is my b, this is my a bar. So finally I will get f of a comma b, which is actually a bar or b. Understand? Next, if I'm going to use all both the don't cares, what I will get? Here I will get how many literals? Here I got 4 literals, here I got 2 literals, and finally if I am use both the don't cares, what I will get? Obviously, how many literals? A bar a, this is my 0, 1, 3, 2, this is my 1, 1, this is don't care, all 4 I can combine it and I'll get just 1. So how the output is? Just output is f of ab is 1, which is a minimized version. I have not going to use any literal over here. Do you all understand how effectively you have to use the don't care? You have to use the don't care where the number of literals are going to reduce. Okay, just not use haphazardly. Okay, in SOP form, if all are ones means output is 1. That I have already told actually. All are don't care means, so now you see me. If the question f of a comma, so this is very important gate question, student. Summation of d 0, 1, 2, 3. Solve it. What you have to do? Just remember, if all are don't care, let's say like this, a b, this is my b bar b, this is my a bar a, all are don't care. What you need to do? The answer is don't care. Okay, understand, sir? This is very important. Already came 3-4 times in the exam. F of a comma b. So in SOP, what you observed here? In SOP, if all are 1, if all min terms are 1, all min terms are present in the function, means it's 1, then my output is 1. If all are don't care, then output is don't care. So these are the takeaway points from this class actually of 2 variable k-map. Understand, students? So we'll stop the thing today here because I have meeting actually, students, and